to his faithful Wario. I don't know if Justin will be playing Rob or Sephiroth. He, you know, he's played a lot more Sephiroth, but recently he's, you know, taking it a little easier, playing a better character, playing some Rob, and, you know, I think either way, something I want to highlight is BeatyBean is, I think, 7-1 on Justin lifetime. So this is definitely an uphill battle for Justinjpeg, and he is going to play Sephiroth. We're going to start on PS2.
Alrighty. I think this is a matchup with which I am not super familiar, at least with these two characters together. How do you feel about this specific matchup?
Yeah, I feel like a big deal here is that Wario having such powerful, you know, he has such active hitboxes, he has deep recovery, great edge guarding tools, and Sephiroth, you know, he has that big sword, he has good movement speed, but it can be hard for Sephiroth in spots where he's forced to try to swing a button, because Sephiroth's hitboxes are very thin, they require a lot of precision. But, you know, Wario can have a hard time killing Sephiroth reliably before Wing without something like Waft. And you really want to see, if you're rooting for Justin here, and that's a great way to get it started, that charge down smash with the Wing to apply some bit of mental pressure. I was going to say, you really want to see Justin take some early stocks with Wing, make sure when BeatyBean gets Waft, he doesn't have that big lead. Use your comeback mechanic against you, but that just killed!
That just killed, unfortunate, like, that's such an unfortunate thing about Sephiroth, is he's just such a light character that just, even the bike from center stage is going to take his stock, unfortunately. I did like seeing the quick lead from Justinjpeg, the way that he was able to rack on damage like that and just take an early stock. However, he's going to need to be super careful of a lot of these ladder combos, following up with a nair in order to escape disadvantage. Right now, keeping BeatyBean off stage. Oh, going for the down air, not going to take the stock just yet. Oh, trying to go for that while BeatyBean was on the upper platform. Pretty risky, however, he is able to rack on some of that damage as we continue here.
Yeah, really happy that Justin, you know, he lost that stock to, you know, some bad DI in the bike throw. Wow, BeatyBean dropped that. You know, maybe Sephiroth's thin and, you know, rather slender hurtbox there contributing, but that's a big deal. Justin here, you know, he's keeping up his movement. He's going for the same pressure he has despite losing that unfortunate stock. He's got the Wing out now. He's throwing out these back airs, but a little bit of an ambitious up smash. BeatyBean has this corner pressure, but Sephiroth, you know, Justin, you can't miss those angles, man. And he died again? Oh man, you gotta DI those into the corner, buddy, come on.
I mean, okay, I do like seeing some of the more risky options, especially when you have the stock disadvantage like that and you have the Wing. I do appreciate maybe like the intuition from Justinjpeg in order to go for something like that, but that just makes it all the more unfortunate. Okay, I did like the use of the bike, being able to like insert his sword through the bike in order to extend the hitbox. Yup, in order to take the stock right there from BeatyBean. Now BeatyBean finds himself off stage, able to make it back though with the nair and racking up some damage for himself, eating the bike in order to reduce some damage. Yup, this is Justinjpeg's time now to play more conservative, I think, and it's pretty hard to do that when you're in disadvantage, but he does have the Wing right now. Although, oh no, okay, gonna be sent off stage yet again.
That was a really smart, turnaround bite out of shield actually from BeatyBean earlier to punish Justin, you know, hitting block and then, you know, hitting shield and then blocking. But Justin, you know, he has the Waft, and it is last stock, but like, these are the situations. Wario is just so slippery when you have, you know, your Sephiroth at high percent, you're really light, Wario can kill you with anything, but I feel like that last stock was a really good example of how hard it can be for Sephiroth to land meaningful hits onto Wario. There were so many times Justin swung here maybe like 8 times in the last minute or something, and every one, he either tried to get out of the corner and was covered by, you know, Wario's really active hitboxes, or he tried to swing out of the corner and it just, Wario, you know, he went over it or under it. But we're going to stick to Sephiroth, running it back on PS2, and, you know, felt like Justin had a really strong start last game, but he still kind of fell off due to some lack of focus, some sloppy DI here or there. I'd love to see him clean it up as we get into an PS2, and BeatyBean already starting off with just approaching with these nairs, approaching with the bike to cover himself.
I do think an important thing to note is that the thing that worked for Justin in game 1 was the way that he was able to take quick stocks, especially not letting BeatyBean get the waft, not letting him work up his percentage in order to get that comeback mechanic. So that's just going to be a really important thing for him. However, it's going to be difficult against a heavier character such as Wario, and then especially like finding those edge guard situations can be pretty difficult. And then due to his small hitboxes, it's pretty hard in order to like make any meaningful damage off of those. So it's going to be a lot of hard reads, a lot of bait and punish stuff if Justinjpeg wants to get anything off of this. I do like that use of the counter right there.
Yeah, I feel like the counter, oh, that was a really beautiful up air. I want to call out, you know, Justin this game, he's already started. He's playing way more on the ground. When he's jumping, he's mostly short hopping, throwing out an aerial, and then returning to the ground. You can't, like, you have to make sure you're not engaging with Wario in the air-to-air, and Justin's doing a great job. Sledge trap here, he's throwing the bike, using it against Wario, and this is the type of situation where if you're Sephiroth, downer to up tilt to the Shadow Flare.
Ooh, okay, not the stock just yet, however, we do see a lot of aggressiveness right here from Justinjpeg, going to take the stock now. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
alrighty, yeah.
Yeah, and a nice back air there by BeatyBean. Justin here, you know, let's see what BeatyBean's gonna do. He has the waft coming online soon, so a big part of this is gonna be if he takes a stock early here, he sniped the jump, but nothing. If he takes a stock early here, maybe he can use a waft setup, or he opts to cash it in right away with the half waft.
Yeah, I do think that was a pretty smart thing to do, especially while Justin had the wing. In order to make sure that he does not have that mechanic in order to rack up even more damage for later. So really smart for being able to prioritize that stock now from BeatyBean.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's see, Justin here, you know, he's holding the center stage. This is what Sephiroth really wants to do. Some great short hopping, narrow to shield. BeatyBean tries to land, Justin gives up. He goes for it all with that charge up smash, but the downer hits through the platform there. Oh, and that's a beautiful little mix up there. You jump, you threaten, because Justin's doing a lot of like nair on shield, bear on shield. So he passes BeatyBean by, but he falls through that beautiful up smash, hits the sweet spot too. And it feels like this was a total 180 from what we saw out of Justin in game 1. Really sharp grounded play, really great mix-ups, really great, you know, tight DI out of the combos, good corner pressure. He really had everything, and now he also, the biggest deal I feel like is that every time BeatyBean was throwing down the bike, Justin, he was hiding behind the bike. He was almost using it like a hydrant.
Just an extra shield as well as an extra way to put damage on BeatyBean with a lot of those maneuvers. So really awesome stuff to be able to utilize a tool of another character like that from Justinjpeg. So it's going to be cool to see what he does going into this next game, if he can push forward some of that momentum in order to close out a game and possibly even, well, slightly in it, try to even up the game percentage between.
Count, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. But BeatyBean here, you know, he's got some big combos. Justin, he has the center stage. BeatyBean using these platforms to his advantage, trying to weave his way into Sephiroth's range. Another great use of the bike though by Justin. He's hiding behind it here. And look at the way BeatyBean, he's so careful, kind of hanging out at that little diagonal right above where Sephiroth's F-tilt will hit. But Justin now, he has the wing. Let's see what he can do. That is a really greedy down air though.
Yeah, I don't see in any world how that down air would have broken BeatyBean's shield. So I do think that was kind of like BeatyBean going.
It's okay. We all go for some errant aerials sometimes. But Justin here, he's planking a little bit. Let's see. Oh, a great get up attack actually. That's one of the only options that got him out of that situation. And now let's see, can he capitalize? He has the wing. BeatyBean, oh wow, a great dash up, bait, dash forward. Oh, sorry, dash forward, dash back, bait BeatyBean to land, and he even has a Shadow Flare too. BeatyBean uses an up B. Wow, 60% already. The wing is gone, but Justin, he's just piling on this damage.
No, it's so awesome to see the way that he is able to sort of continue a lot of this damage here. BeatyBean looking for the edge guard right now. He has some waft coming online. However, Justinjpeg trying to make it back safely, looking for the best option in order to avoid the waft right here. He finds himself in advantage right now with the potential edge guard. Okay, yeah, not going to get that.
Oh, the double counter, the secret technique.
Yes. You know, just go for counter twice.
Yeah, and BeatyBean, the hard part here is that this is the classic Wario conundrum of, you know, your opponent's at 160. Okay, jinxed it again. You know, but okay, well, now it's totally different. He has the waft. BeatyBean's shown he's tried to cash this out on the second stock. But it's up to Justin. He has to stay disciplined. He has to maintain this high level of precise pressure that he's been putting up for the rest of the game. A great up-angled F-tilt there to, you know, take away BeatyBean's airspace. And let's see if he can convert in this ledge trap. No, BeatyBean, he gets back to center stage. And Justin, he's taking his distance. He does not want to screw around with Wario when he's glowing yellow at all.
For sure, Justinjpeg right here, still utilizing his giant sword in order to carve out a space in the corner right here. Oh, okay, yep. Adding on quite a significant amount of damage to add rage to the waft right now. He is looking for his opening in order to seal out the stock and take away the waft right here from... Oh, okay, but yep, there's the waft going to take that stock. And now BeatyBean is at a pretty significant amount of rage, but going to still be able to rack on some damage here versus Justin, able to force him into... Oh, okay.
Okay, that's one you don't see every day.
I don't think I've ever seen his down air kill at the center stage before, but at 170%, like, yeah, for sure.
I've never seen a kill off the top, off of a grounded spike. Maybe on a platform, but you know, we have wing here for Justin, but he has a lot of... That might be it. He caught the dash back with the back DI, and that's it.
Yep.
Man, that BeatyBean, he was so patient with that waft, and he picked it up the moment he landed that combo starter. Even if, you know, maybe, like, you know, like there's some Wario players who, you know, they prefer to save it for the perfect spot maybe in the last stock, but BeatyBean, he needed to take that lead as soon as he did, and you kind of saw it in Justin's face. He reeled back physically, maybe kind of took the wind out of his sails when he lost the lead.
I think it's a really good, like, utilization of one of the best tools in this character's kit. Wario's waft is such a great comeback mechanic. However, the way that BeatyBean uses it is just sort of as a way to, like, secure, like what you were saying, secure an advantage for himself. Just when Justinjpeg thought that he was getting a lead, thought that he had some advantage, nope, here comes the waft. The, like, you know that kind of meme where it's like men be like, I have my whole life ahead of me. No, you don't. The waft is coming.
The waft is coming. Yeah. I mean, I think, you know, it kind of reminds me, you know, back at the start of Ultimate, people would always say things like, oh, like when you're playing against Wario, it's like you kind of start the game a stock down. This was obviously before the nerfs to up tilt and waft and stuff like that. But, you know, BeatyBean really made it feel like it was true. And it also felt like he got great value use out of the wafts to reduce Justin's uptime with wing, which was like, I feel like a big part. Justin didn't get that many kills by virtue of wing, it felt like, which was very important. And when he did, it kind of felt like the type of kill where, like, he had to make a great read. It wasn't just something like he used like a lot of it to his advantage. But it was really good adaptation from both sides. Great use of the bike from both players. Great use of, you know, you really saw like BeatyBean really working hard to try to get into Sephiroth's space, and Justin did a great job kind of adapting, staying way more grounded, taking his time a lot more. It was just a really great set, and, you know, BeatyBean, he found those clutch moments when it mattered, and that's why he's the one who will be moving on to play Syrup in the next round.
Yeah, for sure. I do think that the utilization of bike from both players, I do want to harp on that, like what you were saying earlier. The way that Justinjpeg sort of used it as a tool for misdirection as well as a way to sort of rack on damage to a lot of his own moveset. It's awesome to see when another character is knowledgeable enough of a piece of equipment or of a projectile from their opponent in order to use it in that way. So that was really awesome to see. Clearly, great matchup knowledge as their win rate shows.
Yeah.
Like, you know, as I do think that he did demonstrate a lot of very key Sephiroth piloting, especially in these games to show his improvements with his adaptations. So I do think like really great stuff from. I don't want to be like, oh, both players did a really good job, but like they both did. I just think that BeatyBean just demonstrated a lot more knowledge in this case, and I do think that a lot of his bait game was really on point.
Yeah, and it kind of comes down to, you know, when you're playing a character like Wario, you have access to that X factor. You can kill Sephiroth at, you know, 20%, 30%, off rip, off of, you know, a falling near 2. But, you know, it was just really great play from both sides, and I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if you saw more of these players, you know, make some slightly deeper runs into the bracket here at Fusion 251. But I believe the next set we have is a Philly Showdown.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
I don't know